And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Bucky and BK. Today is Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. And the Buck and I are with y'all for the next 2 hours. On today's show, our Texas Longhorns insider Chip Brown will join us to talk all things Texas training camp. We've got the coaches poll. The preseason coaches poll came out yesterday. We will give our thoughts on the Longhorns and where everybody else fell in the top 25. A little college football hot seat conversation as well. Will this coach get fired if his team goes 8-4? I've got a list I want to ask the Buck. Plenty of NFL to get into as well, including some Dallas Cowboys conversation and the BBK news and why today's not so bad. We are locked, we are loaded, and we are ready to roll on a hump day program. We appreciate y'all spending some of your Wednesdays with us. How are you today, my man?
I am doing great, man. It's a hot hump day, of course. Of course it is. It's August. It's supposed to be a hot hump day. Not supposed to have any cool weather this time of the year, but it's great. It's clear. It's fabulous outside. It's almost football season. Guys are coming to training camp, ready to go. High expectations for themselves and their team. So can't be any better than that, man. It's a good thing.
Buck, we are 1 month away from kickoff. Today is August 5th. The Longhorns' first game is on September 5th, and that's obviously the first big Saturday of the 2026 college football season. So, obviously, practice starting here. You've got practices starting all over the country throughout the course of this week, but it is right around the corner. So close, you can taste it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing. I mean, the kids are excited. This is where everybody gets excited. They've been working through since winter workouts, you know, feeling like, hey, they let people down last year. They didn't make the playoffs. Now it's a year with high expectations. And as I said, the players themselves have high expectations for themselves, individually. So you can't wait to get out there and start going. But it's one step at a time, man. It's that long meeting, BK, when they come on campus. The first meeting you have is you have to go over all the rules and regulations from the university. That is the longest night. You go to dinner, you move in, you go to dinner, and then you come in for about a 2.5, 3 hour meeting of guys have to just sit there. There's no breaks in between. You just talk about everything, NCAA rules, gambling, Sorsby. I mean, that'll come up 20 times during the course of the night. And that's all it is that night. You don't even get to go individual meetings. You don't get to go to individual meetings until that following day. So it's all rules and regulations the first night in. And it sucks. It's like going to the movies without being anything on the screen, just sitting in there,
Oh,
listening and mostly to the head coach and people involved in the university. It's like blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy as an assistant coach. All you're doing is looking around and making sure guys aren't falling asleep. And that's about it, brother.
yeah, that's about it. All
Oh,
right, well, we've got some folks talking about our volumes here, saying I'm too loud and you're too quiet. Um,
really? Me
testing
too
some.
quiet?
I know. Have you ever heard that in your life?
I definitely don't hear that at home. It's like, hey, shut up.
I'm afraid to ask you to adjust anything.
Really, me?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm just overly loud today. We need y'all to let us know what's going on. We want to make
I,
sure that
I just turned a little red modular volume thing up.
uh-oh, that could be scary if the buck starts touching things and pressing buttons,
Guys, you
then
don't
who
want me
knows?
messing around with stuff.
And we did have some back end technical issues before the show,
That
and
the AI got us.
yeah, the AI is attacking us today. And don't forget, I am on the machine's side. Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
All
we don't
right.
want to forget that. Yes, it's not
The
their fault. It's something that we did.
and the impending war of man versus machine. I am team machine because I like winners. I'm like Mike Singletary. I want winners. And we know who's going to win when this happens.
I have not touched that thing in 4 years, and I
I
just
know.
touched it. That's what I'm saying. I just touched it, so I don't want to do too much more because I could just disappear on you.
You're messing with the volume. Is there something that says volume on that thing?
Well, yeah, there's that little red thing that connects my mic
Okay.
a while back.
Definitely don't unplug anything, just a
I'm not.
volume knob. If you've turned that, then I feel like that's
Maybe that did it.
okay. All
All
right.
right. Good day to the soldiers at Fort Hood, Texas, the soldiers in the state of Texas, and all those that fight for us each and every day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for what you do for us. We do appreciate it. We appreciate you each and every day. And to you and your families, please be safe out there. And to all the folks in the state of Washington and the fires, we're praying for you. And if there's anybody that knows where we can get, if there's anything that we can do to help those people, I hope people can hear me, that we can help those people in Washington State and some of these other places that have been flooded. If we need to get a clothing drive going on, I mean, least we can do is get clothes to them. I got a closet full of stuff that I need to get out, and I don't want to just give it away. I'd rather give it to somebody that needs it, that lost everything in a fire, that doesn't even have a shirt on their, that left their homes with just the shirt on their back. You and I have stuff that we could be giving out, and I know there's people out throughout this Central Texas because that's what they do. They know how to give, whether it's money, clothing. We need to find out. I know it's early in that deal, so they got enough confusion with fires still going on to worry about what they have. They're just still trying to put out fires, it sounds like. And I
Mm.
guess you get everything too confused by trying to get stuff into people that are still hoping they can even get back to their homes.
Yeah, well, thoughts and prayers to everybody up there in the
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest going through that. It is a mess right now for sure.
Yep.
All right, transitioning into some college football conversation here, Buck. We've reached poll season. That's how you know
Yes.
we're getting close to kickoff when the polls start coming out. And yesterday, the preseason coaches poll was released, and your Texas Longhorns came in at number 4. The Longhorns actually received 2 first place votes out of a possible 72. Ohio State tops the list, followed by Oregon and then Georgia at number 3. Texas is 4, and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish round out the top 5. I guess before we go around the entire poll and give our biggest takeaways and maybe go overrated and underrated, your thoughts on where Texas ended up.
I think it's just fine. That's about the spot. I mean, Oregon always is, overrated. I mean, yeah, I think they're always kind of overrated. They spend a lot. They have a lot of really good players. They got a decent coach, and they've got their a veteran quarterback coming back. So, but then when the playoffs come, somebody hammers them right in the face. So they're probably where they should be. Ohio State seems to be the consensus. It looks like from everybody in America. So I can go along with consensus on that. I mean, they lose a lot on defense, but once again, quarterback coming back, Heisman Trophy candidate at wide receiver and quarterback, star running back, always got good offense and defensive lines. No matter what they lose, there's always somebody good behind them. Um, Georgia is Georgia, can't beat them. Who cares? You got to be behind them no matter what. You know, it doesn't matter. There's not much to say about them. Georgia is Georgia, and you can't beat them. So Texas, I think, is just about the right spot. Notre Dame, who cares? It's like we'll see. They'll lose to somebody that they shouldn't lose to anyway.
Yeah, well, I think it's fair where Texas is, and I think CB brings up a good point. I wonder if the Longhorns are being punished from last season for starting the year as the number 1 team in both the coaches and
Well,
AP polls and failing to live up to the hype, going
yeah,
9 and 3.
I can see somebody not stepping out there and taking a chance on them.
Yeah, I think there's some of that with the coaches, and I think there could be some of that with the Associated Press too when that poll comes out later this month. But look, I've got no problem with it. I mean, we talked about it last year. I'll talk about it again. There seems to be a curse with being the number 1 team in the country. There's only been 2 teams who've started the year at number 1 in the AP Top 25 who have ended the year number 1 in the AP Top 25. So, obviously, Texas in 2025, not one of those teams. The pressure, the hype, the expectations that come along with being the number 1 squad, that's obviously high. Now, the pressure, the expectations, the hype surrounding this Longhorn team, they're not small this year just because
No,
Texas is number 4. But yeah, I'm okay
people,
with it, right?
yeah, people are exhausted from doing all that last year for the Longhorns with
Right?
Arch Manning as the starting quarterback. They just, they're just like rats jumping off the ship, saying, "I'm not going to do that again. It's not going to be me this time," saying that. So, and that's fine. They're still in the top 5. That's okay. I
Yeah.
thought anywhere from fifth to 1 was going to be all right. Nobody wanted to be nobody wanted Texas to be number one. There wasn't a chance they were going to get voted number one. But I thought from 2 to 5 is just fine.
Yeah, I thought Texas was going to be somewhere in the top three, but I have no problem. I mean, it's a preseason poll. Like, I'm not anti preseason poll. I know a lot of people out there are trying to
Well,
do
you got to
away
have
with
something
it.
to talk about. That's always works anyway.
Gives us something to talk about. I think it builds up some hype for some of these early season matchups. And look, at the end of the day, we know they don't matter, right? Texas could start the year outside of the top 25 if they went 10-2 or better with the schedule.
Right.
They'd make the college football playoff. Texas could start the year number one. If they went 10-2 or better with the schedule, they'd make the college football playoff. So at the end of the day, yeah, where you're at to start the year is not what ultimately is going to determine how successful of a season that this is. But, I mean, Ohio State picked to win the Big Ten. Maybe it makes sense that they're number one. Georgia picked to win the SEC ahead of Texas. Maybe it makes sense that they're ahead of Texas. And Oregon's got a super talented team with the Heisman front runner at quarterback with Dante Moore. They've been on the cusp for the last couple of years. They've got the money and the resources. So, yeah, you figured Texas would be in the same ballpark as those squads. And the Longhorns end up coming in fourth.
Yeah, I mean, there's no unrealistic. There's no Texas Tech in the top 5, and they're picked to win the Big 12. So they're not in there. There's no Tulane's hiding out at number 6 or anything. So it's good.
Yeah. So we gave the top 5.
Uh-oh.
Again, Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Texas, and Notre Dame. The defending national champion Indiana Hoosiers come in at number 6, Buck. And what's interesting, I said moments ago that the Longhorns picked up 2 first-place votes. Indiana got 14 first-place votes, and yet they're a couple of spots below the Longhorns on this ranking. Are you?
Which is crazy because their schedule is powder puffy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, especially early on. I mean, they never play anybody in the non-con, and I would expect Indiana to make the playoff. Look, they've made it in both years that Kurt Cignetti has been their head coach, so almost feels like a safe assumption at that point with them. Obviously, a lot to replace from the national championship winning squad. But yeah, you talk about the start of their season. North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky, Northwestern, all at home. How's that for September?
Yeah, you'll know everything about your team in those 4 games because everybody on your team will get an opportunity to play.
No kidding. You're going to know about the freshmen. You're going to know about the water boys. They might
Oh,
get in the
yeah,
game.
absolutely.
How about the first 2 road games for Indiana? Rutgers and Nebraska.
My God.
Now, they do have to play Ohio State. That's a game in Bloomington. They do have to go to the Big House this year. They do have USC at home. They do play at Washington. So they do go up against most of the good teams in the Big Ten. They do not have Oregon on the schedule, which is a nice break. But yeah, early on, look, Indiana, they're going to start the year pretty high. And they're probably going to creep up because they've got a lot of cupcakes to open up their year. But are you okay? I mean, I'm starting to wonder, like, I think Kurt Cignetti's now the best coach in college football. I know Kirby Smart's got 2. I know Dabo's got 2, and Cignetti only has 1. But I don't think Kirby or Dabo, as great as they are, could have won at Indiana the way that Cignetti just did. I wonder if that guy is the new Kirby Smart, to where it's like, he's going to find anything he can use as motivation to get his guys up. And now he's got, man, we just won it all last year, and they don't even think you're a top 5 team in the country.
No, he wants that. He wants to prove everybody totally wrong about his football program. Although before he got there, everybody was totally right. They were terrible. So, and he's made it over the last couple of years the end thing. The end thing is Indiana football, and with that schedule, you can really keep it up. You can start to gather some momentum playing those teams. Your team can get right early in the season, but when they go to Michigan, who cares? Everybody beats them. I mean, so you can go there and beat them. That Ohio State game will be a monster for them. Going to Washington won't be fun for them. But boy, can you grow some momentum with a schedule like that early?
100%.
Google me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing it the right way. He's got the money now. He can get the players, and if that's what's gonna be his deal with the schedule, you know what? He can always look back as, I've got a national championship. I played for 2, and I've got one under my belt. So whatever I do schedule-wise, screw the rest of you guys.
It seems to work, and I don't think Indiana fans are all that upset that they're
No,
not
they don't
playing.
care. They don't care who they play. They
That's
got
the thing.
championship now.
We always talk about it with Texas, right? We like the big games against the Ohio States and Notre Dames and Michigans of the world. Those are fun and those are cool for season ticket holders. But I think every Longhorn fan would trade one of those games for a national championship in a heartbeat. Obviously, you can have both. That's what Texas will be trying to do this year. But
Yes.
yeah, it's everyone around the country might take shots at Signetti and Indiana's soft scheduling, but it's, nobody in Bloomington cares, and I don't think
Not
any
when
of
they
them
pick up a
should.
ring not if they're picking up rings every year.
Uh, every year.
Well, every year for the last, if they're in the if they're in a championship play again this year, you kidding me? Nobody will care who they play.
Yeah, they get in the
You play
playoff for a
Mount
third.
St. Mary's in football. Nobody will care about those games in the beginning.
No, and they got a
Ever.
big boost yesterday. One of their best players from last year, Stephen Daly, will return to the Hoosiers for his fifth year. Of course, the lawsuits going on around the country and the district court ruling in Colorado allowing members of the class of 2022 to get an extra season of eligibility. So Indiana already a loaded roster, and a guy who finished third in the country in tackles for a loss last season is now back on the Hoosiers.
Wow.
So yeah, they're not going anywhere. Then you
Who
got
will Howard?
Miami.
Did they play Howard in game two?
They do play Howard in game two.
Wow.
You know something about Howard? You got a scouting report on what are they, the Bison?
I think they were the Bison. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think when I was at Boston College as a coach, we may have played them in a game. No, we played Morgan State. Morgan State. That's what we played. We didn't
Who
play Howard. We
are
played
you saying Oregon State?
Morgan with an M. Morgan, like Morgantown. Morgan State we played.
What is that, like a team of bankers from JP Morgan?
Oh, no, it's one of the all black colleges, kind of like
Oh,
North Carolina A&T. Great
oh.
band, great band, average football team, couple players here and there. You just maul them and move along about your business. You give them a paycheck and say thank you. And that's what Indiana will do. They'll get $1 million for going and getting beat 60 to 12 or something like that. And people will be pissed that Indiana gave up 12.
Yeah, sorry to my black brothers and sisters out there for not knowing about Morgan State. That's on me right there.
Good band.
You got Indiana at 6, Miami at 7. Of course, they played for a national title last year and lost to Indiana. How about Texas A&M at 8 and Oklahoma at 9, Buck?
There you go. That couldn't happen to two better places.
You think too high, too low, or just right for the Aggies and Sooners?
I think that's just right.
You do?
Yeah, that's.
You've been
I mean,
bashing both of those teams a lot lately. I figured you'd put them outside of the
no,
top 20.
well, I'm not gonna put Oklahoma outside of the top 10. I'll put Oklahoma there. Aggies can be 12 where they belong. How's that?
Okay, all right, outside the top 10.
Yeah,
Yeah, I,
they belong. They belong. They're a good dozen. That's about it. Oklahoma, just for the sake of how we're going to talk about how great their defense is, because their offense is going to stink again.
you get a lot of teams who made the college football playoff who are in the top 10. Matter of fact, the only team that is in there that did not reach the CFP last year is your Texas Longhorns. So, the hype train, everything coming back for the Longhorns, the most talented roster of the Steve Sarkisian era, that's giving Texas the boost. But yeah, everybody else, the other 9 teams in the top 10 were all teams that made it to the college football playoff in 2025.
Yeah, I when I look at Texas Tech, I'm thinking, why isn't BYU? BYU returns a whole bunch and their quarterback, and they got some money too. So,
Oh, wait, I got to make a correction. Notre Dame did not make the college football playoff last year. I beg your pardon.
oh, they didn't even make the college bowl trip. Remember?
They didn't even make a bowl game. Yeah, they quit. They opted out of that. So
Yeah,
maybe that's
quitters.
why. Maybe that's why I forgot. So there are 2 teams that did not make the CFP that are in the top 10 this year. But yeah, I mean, anything stand out? Any of the top 10? Any team in the 11 to 25 range that you think the coaches got right, or I guess more importantly, the coaches got wrong?
That Tennessee team. You know,
Tennessee's at
I
18.
I know Washington is kind of. I think Washington can be scary. I think you're a little bit high on them this year as being one of those kind of sleeper teams, right?
Yeah, why are you stealing my sleeper? What are you doing?
I'm not trying to steal your sleeper team, but I think, why aren't they in front of somebody like Penn State?
Uh, I don't know. LSU at number 13 is interesting. Obviously, big year one for Lane Kiffin.
Dude, they're such high expectations for them. I mean, they're the best team money can buy, with the exception of that Texas Tech team that was bought last year. This is people are going to be really disappointed. Hell, people are so disappointed in Louisiana that they're not voted in the top five probably.
Yeah, well, the Cajun crazies are just that. So, looking
Yes.
at this thing from a Texas standpoint, there are 6 SEC teams in the top 11, 9 in the top 25, and Texas will play 7 games against teams that are in the top 25 in the preseason coaches poll. And of those 7 games, by the way, Buck, just 2 of them are at home. And Florida is not in the top 25, but they were second in terms of receiving votes. So they're basically 27th in the country. So the Longhorns will get a team just outside of the top 25 as well. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
Florida's probably thinking, who the hell is 25? What a team is that? Where is Missouri at? What is that?
you're the one who doesn't know where Missouri is or what Missouri is. I think most people kind of know what Missouri is.
Yeah.
So I mean, Florida went 4-8 last year. Like, I don't think they should be a top 25 team. I know people are excited. They've got John Summerall. They've got a lot of talent on that roster. Look, I keep making the Texas comparison. It felt like every year in the 2010s, Texas was in a preseason top 25, or at least very
Right.
close to it. And I was on the radio like, why? Like, stop putting us. You're setting Texas up for embarrassment, but also they don't deserve to be there. So
You know,
Florida
as
went.
I said to Chris yesterday, I said, listen, the people in Florida just think they're a coach away. It's just the right coach. And I think
Yeah.
this may be the guy. I know they haven't had their quarterback hasn't been right. We know what they have athletically, but I think they may have the guy now. But
Well,
they've been saying, but we even say that the last 3 guys.
I was gonna say, like, that's the hope for Florida is they finally have the right coach. Again, it's the Texas comp. Like, there's talent. They always recruit well.
Yes.
They've got the money. They've got the resources. They're in one of the greatest hotbeds for talent in the country.
You're
There's
right.
no reason they're not winning every single year, and yet they're not winning every single year. So for Texas, Steve Sarkisian was the right guy to get things back on track. Florida's obviously hoping John Summerall is the right guy to do that. I'm very curious. He's very much a football hardo, that guy. And it's cool bits and cool shticks, and like we talked to Chris Phillips yesterday, early on in the honeymoon phase, people love it, but if he starts losing games, then all the ridiculous stuff that he's already
Yeah,
pulled isn't going to sit too well with the
no,
Gators.
all the gimmicks and stuff like that wears off if you don't win. They don't say, "Oh, it's next year. He'll have this kind of." No, it'll be. They'll know. They'll get in for all the sticks and all that stuff early, and then once you start losing, it's like, boy, is this wearing off? You
Yeah.
know?
Well, nowadays, and Steve Sarkisian is a little fortunate, I think, that, and look, he wouldn't have gotten fired regardless, but the fact that, like, he took over at Texas before NIL was as big as it is today. Like, now with NIL, you think of a place like Texas, you think of a Florida, you think of an LSU, obviously back to the Lane Kiffin conversation. You're expected to win right away. It's
Yes.
like, we didn't just pay a buyout to get rid of the last coach, and we didn't just pay your salary. We gave you a 40, $50 million roster. So it's like, we don't want to wait for year 2 or year 3 before you start to get things in gear here. So those coaches, again, LSU number 13, you had people at SEC Media Days saying it's like national championship or bust for Lane Kiffin, which is incredibly stupid and irresponsible, but like that wasn't a conversation for Steve Sarkisian in year 1. And you
No,
got
but
people at Florida saying like they should be a playoff team. They were 4-8 last year. Like none of that was a thing before all the money started going into these rosters.
yeah, but Google Me screwed that all up for everybody.
Yeah, that too. It's a great point. Right? Kurt Cignetti in year 1 at Indiana with no expectations. Now, he had money to put together a roster, but with no expectations, he goes 11-1, makes the playoff, and then obviously year 2 they win it all, 16-0.
No, they're expecting you. LSU, I mean, they're like you said, that is kind of overhyped and out of this world thoughts for their fans. But dude, if it's not this year, then they're going to expect it next year. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what Lane Kiffin walked into, and he knows that's what he walked into.
Oh yeah, he had a lifetime contract in Oxford, and he had a statue coming his way at Vaught Hemingway if he stayed, and he instead said, "No, I'm going to take this challenge," and he's not backing down. Obviously, the way he handled it was ridiculous, but he knows he's going into the Tiger's den. I guess would
Yes,
be
he
better
is.
than Lion's den. It's interesting. Like you brought up Kurt Signetti. I think Kurt Signetti and Nick Saban have kind of, I don't want to say ruined, but they have totally changed the way people think about college football.
Yes.
It's almost like Steph Curry in basketball, where it's like everyone thinks they can shoot like Steph now. And like
Right.
Steph didn't ruin the game, but there are people who are like, dang it, Steph. Like, we don't need these like eighth graders shooting from half court every time. They're all trying to be like you. You know, I think with Nick Saban winning all of those titles, there are programs that are like, well, we should have that. And then now with Kurt
It's
Signetti,
like Auburn fan. Auburn fan thinks, oh, if that can happen at Indiana, that ought to be able to happen to us.
Auburn fan is dumb. But
Yeah. Well, we know that, but
that's
they
the
think
thing. Like it's all. I mean, Kentucky. We're hearing Kentucky
I
fans say
know.
that now. It's like,
I know.
why can't we do that? Why? Like we just hired a new coach. We're like Indiana. We haven't won a whole lot. We're in a major conference. Why can't we be the next Indiana?
You're absolutely right.
Like
If
that
Indiana
is
can do it
now
like
for a long time. It was Nick say like, well, if he can win six, why can't we win that many? And then now it's well, if Indiana can win, like every fan base and every donor now is like, well, yeah, we've always lost. Yeah, we don't have as much as some other schools might have, but if that guy at that school can do it, then if our guy can't do it, then he's not the right guy.
hey, I should be thinking that way for my alma mater, for Boston College. What's wrong with me? They got money.
How much are you donating?
I send them some blank checks.
Blank checks?
Yeah, but don't no, but don't put anything on it. I'll put the zero that I expect to have at the end of it.
Well, a
But
blank check means it's any amount.
no,
They
no,
should be
no.
really good.
They're not
You
getting
could
me.
pay Bill O'Brien's buyout today.
Oh gosh,
I don't know why that guy's still there.
yeah. That gives that Indiana deal gives everybody such hope.
I know. And that's cool. Look, I love hope. That's is great. That's the beauty of the off season is that everybody outside of Arkansas in the SEC feels like their team has the chance to do something special, and you go around the country, right? It's not just an SEC thing. You got all these teams thinking, "Now this is going to be the year. We've got the right coach, we've got the right quarterback, we've got the right roster." It's a
Yes.
beautiful thing, but inevitably, a bunch of fan bases are going to get let down, and expectations have just changed so much, and we're all prisoners of the moment. Like we want it now. We want that instant gratification, and that's increased the heat on a lot of seats around the
Yeah,
nation.
I mean, and like I said, that's what the players are thinking. That's what some of the teams are thinking, and that's fine, and coaching staffs. But the fan base, like I said, at Arkansas, they've resigned themselves. If we can get to a bowl game with this first year coach, that would be unbelievable for our program. Now the next year we can really get ourselves out of control.
I think Arkansas fans would sign up for one SEC win this year.
Now you're talking.
I will give Arkansas fans credit, and I don't like to credit Arkansas or anything about them, but that's a fan base that's not thinking about a bowl game this year. That's a fan base that's thinking about basketball season already.
Yes.
And then baseball season shortly after that. Like Arkansas, they're going to have to win at least 3 SEC games to make a bowl because you got 3 non-conference games. By the way, Arkansas plays at Utah in week 2, so they're not winning that. They're probably going to have to win 4 SEC games, which means 4-4 or 4-5 in the conference. They know they're not doing that. I think
Yeah, I
they
mean,
would be happy.
if you're not BK in the ACC, some of your hopes should be like, let's just get to a bowl game. Like
Yeah,
I felt like SMU was going to be that next team. I thought SMU would be that team before Indiana. I think we all did with the coach they have and the one year that they had and getting to the play. I was thinking this is the next group that they got a lot of money. They're going to be able to build. They're in the Metroplex. There's some good players in the state of Texas. They'll be, but SMU is going to be back to where they normally they're not going. That's not going to be an every year thing for them. I don't believe.
I don't know, man. They got money too up there in
I know they
Dallas.
do, but
They
That's
were
along the
like a play away from making the ACC title game and maybe getting back to the playoff last
I'm
year.
not on that program. I'm still not buying into that. They're going to be a
Okay.
year in, year out. We'll get to, even though they're in the ACC, I still don't even believe it.
All right. I don't
What I
know.
shouldn't believe is Clemson, because that guy's going to be on the way out this year if they don't get something done.
You know what? We're going to get to that in a moment because I have some hot seat questions with coaches around the
Okay.
country that I want to ask you. But before we get to that, again, there are thoughts on the USA Today coaches poll. Texas coming in at number 4 in the top 25. Of course, the AP poll, which is the one that more people pay attention to, and the one that the television networks use for their score bugs for the actual games. That will come out in a few weeks. But we'll continue the college football conversation in a moment. Before we do, how about our first round of sponsor shout outs?
Golf Day means Hat Creek Burger Day, folks, and it is a Hat Creek Burger Company Day. 2008, they started right here in Austin, Texas, serving burgers, fries, and those great shakes. Hat Creek Burger Company is a place with good food, good folks, and a whole lot of fun. They've got over 30 locations in the state of Texas, and you can find a location near you for sure. They got the great playgrounds for the kids and happy hour for the adults at Hat Creek Burger Company. I'll say this is, over the last week or so, BK, I told you how people are out. I'm going getting my stationery, and I'm seeing these kids, moms and daughters buying their stationery. Well, guess what? I'm seeing these kids and family at Hat Creek Burger getting ready for school, trying to get the last lick in there, I guess, before school starts, where they'll like cool it down a little bit. You'll be eating at home, but they are packing the Hat Creek Burger Company early in the morning. They're there all afternoon, straight through the afternoon into the evening, buying those great burgers, fries, and shakes. Hey, don't forget the nuggies either now, because at Hat Creek Burger Company, folks, there's something there for everyone.
Why are you buying stationery?
No, I'm not. Well, I had some little things. You know me, I write out everything. So I've got, now I got to do Lake Travis football. So there's some stuff that I need some station. Although my wife then, when I got home with the stationery, you know what she does? She looks upstairs. She goes, "You got 40 pages left in this. Why are you buying new station?" Oh, I had to get that too. Let me look in your drawer. How many pens do you need? You got 60 pens in there. Did you need to buy another pack of pens? I just like to go see the people. I like to see moms and daughters out there at the stationery store. I like to say hello.
No moms and daughters are buying stationery. You're the only one buying stationery.
I'm telling you, I've seen kids get backpacks and everything else.
Okay, yeah, they're buying school supplies. They ain't buying stationery.
Okay, well, school supplies. That makes it sound.
Hey,
Hey, stuff for their computers, stationery for their printer. How's that?
we just call that paper, I think.
Is that what you call it? I call it stationery. It's all anything paper, pencil, paper. That's still stationery to me.
I love you, man, but you are so old. Do you know that?
What?
You are so old calling it
Yes, I am.
stationery. Oh God. Well,
I still call them stationary stores.
what?
Office Depot. I call them stationary stores.
Not an office supply store. It's a stationery store.
Yeah, and they still got desks and chairs and everything else in them.
Oh my gosh. All
Printers,
right. I,
computers.
I can already just imagine what Tom McKay is thinking in his head right now. He's about to send us some text calling you old as dirt. You know that's coming.
There
We love our guy Tom McKay. I'm on the schedule. Moving
you go.
sucks. Everybody knows this. It doesn't get any more fun the older you get. I don't know
Yeah,
why it
notice you
would.
didn't ask me to help you move either. Smart move on
No.
your part.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would expect you to say no. I wouldn't do that to you, but also if I did, I'd expect you to be like, "Why would you ask me? No thanks."
Yeah.
Um, you carry me every day on this show, Buck. You don't need to be
What
carrying
about
my
hey,
stuff.
what about the girls up top? They should be helping you move your stuff.
I'm gonna throw a smoke grenade or a stink bomb in their unit before I leave. I haven't
Knock on the
decided.
door and throw it in.
Haven't decided which one. AV consultations. We're about the way for Texas football. The NFL starts tomorrow. College football starts week 0 is the end of this month. It means you're running out of time to do what I did and get on the schedule with audio visual consultations. Tations. They can upgrade your home TV setup. If you want multiple screens on one wall like I have, if you want that badass home theater room with the surround sound, if you want a patio setup, if you just want a big screen, whatever, call the experts at AV Consultations. They've been hooking up Central Texas since 1988. Tons of 5-star reviews online. So many of y'all have called over the years. Thank you for that. And so many of y'all will continue to call. Thank you for that. avconsultations.com is their website. Talk to our guy Tom McKay and get hooked up for the upcoming football season.
And of course, golf day means early bird CBD, folks. The absolute very best. And I'll tell you what, knees are going to feel good, ankles are going to feel good, back is going to feel good with the early bird. Folks, I take the drops, I just put it in my hydration drink, and I go about my business, get a good round of golf in without the pain the next day that a lot of folks are feeling because they went out there in this temperature and this heat and walked around on the golf course. Not the Buck. He's found something that really makes him feel good for days after, not just a day after, but for a couple days after, still feel good with the early bird CBD.
Yes, indeed. Got the gummies in hand. Love these things. Oh, we have an echo.
I'm good.
Oh no.
Is it back? But I don't hear it. I sound good. I sound great.
You do sound great. The echo's coming from my end here. Might need the people to let us know if they can hear it. If they can, we'll have to figure something out here. I might need to just take an early bird to relax.
Yeah, that's it. Take one of those now.
That'll help to take the edge off, to unwind at the end of a day, to help with pain alleviation, whatever you're about. Early Bird CBD is for you. It's a local Austin company. They make products designed to make you feel good. earlybirdcbd.com, promo code Bucky. Okay, I'm echoing.
I don't hear it. It sounds good. You sound loud and clear to me.
Yeah, but everyone else hears an echo, so.
You know what you have to tell the people sometimes? Listen in and focus in. It's a part of the focus mechanism. Work that thing so that you understand what's happening here.
I don't want. All right, will you do one more live read so I can unplug?
Yeah, you got that. Go ahead, my friend.
Okay.
Folks, if you're looking for that, seeking specialized patient-focused orthopedic care, contact the experts and our friends at Texas Orthopedics. Their physicians offer comprehensive surgical and non-surgical orthopedic care and rehabilitation for children and adults, spinal care, sports medicine, joint replacement, rheumatology, and more. Their doctors are dedicated orthopedic surgeons there, and their goal is to get you into good health and the great quality of life that you definitely want and deserve. Folks, visit txortho.com for more information. Texas Orthopedics is the largest independent orthopedic practice in Central Texas. Love the folks at Texas Orthopedics.
I'm afraid to talk. Are we back?
Yeah, you just sound low to me, but if you're not echoing, I can handle it.
I don't know what's going on today. It's the radio gods are not on our side with this.
It's AI. Your buddies are now after us.
Goodness, what a freaking mess! All right,
they're trying to make their move. And now you're talking, and I can't even hear you. No, there you go.
Now are we back?
Now we're back. There you go.
It's like my phone is trying to connect to the speakers here. What is going on?
You have got to battle these machines, BK. You can't let them take us over.
I mean, we had an entire off season for them to take over, and they wait until the first day of fall camp to try to ruin things.
That's them. That's how they work, man. You know, they have no souls. You know, AI has no soul, right?
That's why we get along so well, because I don't either.
Yeah. Well, I have a soul, so I'm not down with them.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna battle them hard. You know that.
I do know that. You will be hard.
Yeah, I walk into the stationery store and all the computers start getting all weirded out because I walk in the door.
I'm surprised they have computers in the stationery store, to be honest with you.
Just
figure they'd be
paper.
typewriters in there or something like that.
God.
All right, so I think we're good. I think for now we're good. We'll tweak some things after the show and try to figure it all out, but apologies.
All right, before we get back to some good stuff, let me just say this. Here's one of those messages to folks out there. Folks, do be aware and be careful that this is the time of the year where the snakes are out. It's gotten so hot that they have they are looking for water. So if you got a sprinkler system, please be careful, especially if you got the grass that's gotten a little long, and you haven't cut it or the yard people haven't. Please be careful. And I'm talking about big snakes, BK. Yesterday a friend of mine told me there was a 6-foot rattler getting the skin off of its body on his back porch. A
Oof.
6-footer
No thanks.
de-skinning himself or whatever it is when they shed their skin.
What did he do? Did he kill it?
Nope, he got the head of it, put it in one of those little snake noose things, and took it to the green belt and let it loose. I ain't let no snake loose.
Why would
I'm
he do
so
that? Why would he go to like a very public area and let a snake out to go
well,
attack
I
people?
guess some of the green belt has wooded stuff. I know, but I think if people walk there, I would be walking there and that snake would walk up on me. But they're out right now. They're all shedding their skin, and you just got to be careful. And for those that have hoses just hanging out on the side, they don't have a hose, they haven't rolled up the hose. Be careful of that because some of those snakes are dumb. They're like kids. They're dumb. They'll mistake that for another snake and coil itself in that, thinking, oh, it's mating season too. You go
Oh
down there to
boy.
reach for that. Go down there and reach for that hose and get bit. So be careful where it's damp, where it's wet. If you got pots on your property and you water them down, don't go out there the next morning and stick your hand around there, reaching around. Be very, very careful, and for the kids too. So, I mean, kids on their property think that they can just run around anywhere. Well, snakes don't have they don't believe in that no trespassing sign. They just go wherever they want, wherever they can find water, and they're all looking for water right now.
There's your Bear Grylls advice from Buck
I mean, be
Grylls.
careful. I mean, you don't want to get bit before school starts or when school starts or after school is over. You just don't want to get bit. You don't want to get bit by a copperhead or a rattlesnake right now, not
Well,
knowing.
yeah, I'm about to move into a home, so I'm gonna have to start dealing with some things that haven't had to deal with apartment living.
Yeah, I always feel dumb when I walk the property and I don't have stick in hand or 22 in hand, walking around at edges that I haven't been to in a while. I'm just, and I'm the guy who's out there. I'm not out there in flip flops, but I wear my sneakers. I don't even put the boots on, which I should if I'm walking around this place. You know how hilly it is around here.
Mm.
There was a 6-footer here last year that went over to my neighbor's place, which it should because they got goats and chickens and ducks. That's where they belong. They don't belong on my property. They belong next door to me.
Yeah, they already have a zoo over there. Why won't
Yeah,
they just go over there?
go over there and eat. Why are you over here with me? I got nothing but a couple of cats and a big dog.
Oh man. All right, well, diving back into the sports. There you go. PSA. Be on the
Yes.
lookout for the snakes and other creatures and critters out there because they are out and about. But Buck, I want to get into a little college football hot seat conversation. I
Okay.
was just thinking last night about the upcoming 2026 season, which is what I do a lot in my spare time. It's really all I think about these days is the upcoming college football season. But I wanted to ask a question about a number of coaches around the country. Will this coach get fired if his team goes 8-4? So there are some coaches like Mike Norvell at Florida State. If he goes 8-4, he's keeping his job. That'd be a huge step in the right direction. Right? There are a number of
Yes.
coaches that would love to have an 8-4 season. But there are a number of coaches in a number of programs that 8-4 would be a massive, massive disappointment. So I came up with a list of coaches, and I wanted to ask, kind of one by
Okay.
one, will this coach get fired if his team goes 8-4 this season? We're going to start right here in Austin with Steve Sarkisian. What do you think?
No. No matter what happens, he's got another year under his belt. If there's a total disaster, he still has a year to get it straight. Because he's got a fine recruiting class coming up, and you'll say, well, it doesn't get any better than this. Well, every year is different. So I would think that he would have, with what he's done in 6 years, he'd have the graces for another year.
Yeah,
8-4 would not get him fired. It'd make it hot. It'd make it burning. I mean, he would have a pack of matches in his back pocket just ready to go off, but it wouldn't happen at 8-4.
I agree. If it gets to like Tom Herman, Charlie Strong level 5-7 or 6-6, then maybe it's a different conversation. But the
It
question
all depends
was,
on what is the reasoning. If it's a bunch of injuries that got you that way,
yeah,
people will tell you, oh, you should have been better prepared and all that other stuff. But that stuff, catastrophes can happen, and you got to give him another chance. You have to give
Yeah.
him another shot.
8-4, he will be back next
Yes.
season. What about Kalen DeBoer at Alabama? If the Crimson Tide go 8-4, this is year 3 for him. That would be 2 out of 3 years not making the college football playoff. I think that'd be the worst regular season record that the Crimson Tide would have under Kalen DeBoer. If Bama goes 8-4 this season, are they looking for a new head coach?
Yeah, I think so. They need to have 9 wins. 8-4 is going to be a problem for them. I know they're paying him a lot of money, but I think somebody who has the money there will say, "I'm stopped giving you the money now. It's just stopped. I'm just shutting it off." Some alum in that program that's been giving him a lot of money for a long time will close it down at 8-4. If he gets to 9, I think he'll be okay even.
The weird thing is they gave him that extension this offseason.
Why?
And that changes my thoughts. That changes my answer. Like, if they didn't give him the extension, look, it's Alabama. They can raise the money. They've got the donors. If they got to pay the buyout, they'll pay the buyout. But they made it a lot tougher on themselves to get rid of that guy if he does go 8-4. So that guy might leave. I don't know if he'd get fired. That
Yeah,
guy might look for
yeah,
a soft landing somewhere else.
yeah. That guy's head may just fall off.
Yeah, he might
Off
just be
his
like,
shoulders.
I don't even want another year. I mean, Kalen DeBoer looks like he's aged 15 years in the last 2. And that's what replacing Nick Saban and coaching at that place will do to you.
Sure,
And
I
it's,
think you may be right. I think he may walk on that. They may
yeah,
have a settlement. He'll walk. He'll get a smaller type job, and do all right because you don't wherever he goes, you don't want to play him.
no.
So
There's a lot of schools that would love to have Kalen DeBoer as their head coach, but it feels like
sure,
Alabama is not one of them. And if they go 8-4 this year, they definitely won't be one of them. So you're saying yes, he gets fired if they go 8-4?
I'm saying I'm saying he won't be there. I don't know if he
Okay.
gets fired, but he may walk, or I think he'll be at another school somewhere.
All right. What about Burnt Vegetables, aka Brent Venables at Oklahoma? The Sooners go 8-4 this year. It's year 5 for Venables. They made the playoff last season, 10 and
Yeah, I
3.
think because of that, BK, he's got another year even at 8-4.
Okay.
But that
Yes.
will be it. That will be it. And he won't have John Intercept here unless he gets his 8th year to play. Who knows? But
Right.
I
Yeah, I
think
think
the I
he's
think the pressure is going to be on for him to be not just get in the playoffs, but do something in the playoffs. I just don't 8-4 for what that guy's done. I don't know. Why am I giving that dude a break? Screw that guy. Why am I giving him a break? That's horrible. It's horrible offense at Oklahoma. Why is it taking so long? He's a defensive guy. They've had great defense. Go hire somebody that can get you going offensively. That's on you as the head coach. 8-4, he still will be around. I don't know why, but I think he'll stay.
It's been a very weird first 4 years for Venables. Like,
Yeah,
he's almost like the San Francisco Giants in baseball of the last decade, where like every other year they're good. I mean, 2022, his first year, they go 6-7. 2023, they go 10-3. 2024, they fall back to 6-7. 2025, back up to 10-3.
yeah, but
So
when have they really been threatening to anybody? It just doesn't seem like they don't threaten that number one or number two or number three. They are where they are. They don't give you. There's not much of a threat to them.
yeah,
Whether it's
no,
the
they're not where they were under Lincoln Riley, and they're not where they were under Bob Stoops. Like
right,
I love that the expectations in Norman have fallen off. Like I've seen OU fans be like, "Yeah, 9-3 with our schedule is a very good year," and I'm like, "That's not the Oklahoma football I grew up watching and hated."
that's true. You're right.
It's like anything short of a national championship or a conference championship or both was a failure. And now in Norman, it's all of a sudden, yeah, no, 9-3 with we got to go to Michigan and we got Georgia, we got all this tough schedule. If we just go 9-3, it's fine. And I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for Oklahoma starting to act like they're not a blue blood program. I didn't think I'd ever see the day, but that's a lot of the fan base right now. So
Yeah,
I don't get it.
That's kind of me positionally with them. When they can't find a running back and they're getting a running back that went to high school at Norman High or something like that, I'm like, what the hell is this? It's not Oklahoma. They don't have an H back that's catching, 152 passes in a season, part fullback, part, it's just unusual. That guy has made it unusual at different positions. Great
Their
defense.
offense,
We're used to great defense at Oklahoma. That's nothing new there.
right? Yeah, they went from, well, it's interesting because their last coach, Lincoln Riley, was all offense.
Right.
And I mean, they had Heisman winners or contenders every single year he was there. But their defense was soft, and that's why some Oklahoma fans were happy. I think they weren't really happy. They just pretended to be happy when he
Yeah,
left.
they really weren't happy when they got that guy.
But yeah, the defense was not the same as it was under Bob Stoops, and now it's just a total 180 where the defense is championship level, but their offense stinks. I think 8-4, he's back for another year, but it'll be a pretty hot seat for Venables going into
For
2027.
sure, yes.
Lincoln Riley at USC.
No, I think he's getting fired if he goes 8-4.
I do too. I think they have to make the
Yeah,
playoffs.
that will be one of those mutual. I probably need to get out of here. I can't get it done. If this was a Pac-12, it would be different, but it ain't. We're in the Big Ten now. This is kind of tough on me. I need to go. I need to go somewhere else. Let's get a buyout going. 8-4 is either going to get you fired or there's going to be a buyout where you walk out peacefully.
Yeah, you're too high on the mutual thing. These coaches, they want their money. They don't want settlements. They don't want to agree to take
Yeah,
less.
that's why they have buyouts. They don't have
Yeah,
buyouts to take half of the buyout.
8-4. I think Lincoln Riley's gone. I agree with you. What about Dabo Sweeney? You brought him up earlier.
Yeah.
Like, we know he's won 2 national championships, the best coach Clemson has ever had. If Clemson goes 8-4 this year, they are in the top 25 in the coaches poll, by the way, near the very bottom. Could this be the end for old Dabo?
Yeah, and this is not going to be Dabo's doing. This is going to be the higher ups. If he goes 8-4 in the ACC, they're going to say, "Hey, nice knowing you. Thanks for all the things you did." It's like the one Stoops that was at Kentucky. You really changed our program. We appreciate it, but it's time for you to go. You don't have to
Yeah,
leave. You don't have to leave football, but you have to leave Clemson.
I think, God, and with what happened to Gary Patterson at TCU, maybe I shouldn't feel this way because that guy was so good and did so much. He got a statue while he was still coaching there. But they told him, like, see ya. Thanks for
Yeah,
everything. You're done. So if that can happen, now Dabo's won 2 natties, and Gary obviously didn't win any, but um, I don't know. Like I think Dabo's gonna get to decide when he leaves.
you
I
think
don't think
so?
eight. I don't think 8-4 is enough to fire him because he'd be owed a ton of money, and Clemson doesn't have the money that a Texas or a Alabama or an Ohio State has. So I think 8-4 is enough to keep him around.
And that guy want to stay forever until he starts winning like 5 games. It's not
Yeah.
like it won't be about the money. It'll just be about the Dabo. He'll be like, no, I think I can get it done the next year. Sorry, I won 6 for you this year. I'll win 8 for you the next. He's like that crusty old dude. You know what I'm saying? He's like the crusty old guy still going to the stationery store.
Oh yeah, like you, I agree. Just
He ain't
like you.
going anywhere. He doesn't want to go.
Last but not least, and this one's a bit of a reach, I'm willing to admit, but he's been so good that 8-4 would be a huge step back. What if Dan Lanning goes 8-4 at Oregon? He's been there for 4 years, double-digit wins in all 4 seasons, played for conference championships, won playoff games. Like, he's had Oregon in the mix every single year he's been there. They are number 2 in the coaches poll. They're going to be somewhere in the top 3 to 4 in the AP poll when that comes out. Dan Lanning goes 8-4 with Phil Knight and that money and that guy getting up there in age. Is
I'm going
he?
to say he's still not going anywhere. I just don't think he's that great a coach. I think other people think he's a great coach. I think he's had great talent, but I don't know about him as a coach himself, BK. He kind of reminds me of the guy who's at Miami who was there before. He reminds me of the guy who can find a way to screw it up. And it's not about the
Ooh.
players, it's about that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a mistake that he's going to make that it's people are going to look and say, "Oh, they're not that good," but it's going to be his mistake that he makes. It won't be the player's mistake. That guy's had been loaded with talent for the last couple of years, and it's something that he does. It's something where he lets the quarterback do this, or he calls that, or he doesn't yank a guy, or he doesn't call a timeout, or he doesn't know when to call a time. It's the guy himself for me. But I don't think they'll get rid of him.
I don't either. I don't think. Look, I don't think Oregon's going to go 8-4, and I think he's done enough and built up enough good grace in
Yes.
Eugene to where they would give him another season.
But
But that
don't you
obviously,
put him in there with the guy that was there before?
I think he's bet. Like it's not as fun to dunk on Mario Cristobal because he just played for a national title.
Yeah, we can't do that for a while
So it's
now.
like I still don't think he's a great coach, but had a great year, like a great year, and did better than Dan Lanning. So I think he's better. He's had more success at Oregon than Dan Lanning or than Mario Cristobal did in his 4 years. In Oregon's defense, they've made the playoff 2 years in a row. They've lost to the eventual national champions both times, but they got smoked in both of those games. So I
Yeah,
don't.
I mean they're not even competitive in that
Right.
game.
So I don't know if that's a great defense by me. Yeah, 8-4 would be a mad, just like for Texas. I think Dan Lanning and Sark are in the same boat. I think they're a similar level of coach where they've got talent, they've got resources, they've got everything they need. They might have their best teams that they've ever had. It would behoove them to get it done this year. And if they don't, there will be people asking, if not now, when for both.
Yes, for sure.
But just like with Sark, same thing with Dan Lanning. I don't think 8-4 would.
Yeah, I'm in the same. I'm in the same as it will. It won't be about. Well, for Sark, to me, it won't. It won't. It's. I'm not to the point where it's about his coaching. It's about his ability. If he's not being a great play caller like expectations were, when will he let somebody else do the play calling? Never. And for Dan Lanning, it's that guy is just going to make a mistake. And with the quarterback who looked just feeble in the game last year, where he just kept throwing picks, and that was on him. And it was like, Coach, you know this guy. This guy's a veteran quarterback. You got to do something to change it. And it never changed. It never changed in that game. They just got pummeled.
They did. They got pummeled. Yeah. All right, we'll get back into this conversation. We'll take your thoughts. A couple of quick sponsor shout-outs. We're about to chop it up with Chip Brown of horns247.com. But before we get our Longhorns Insider segment, Buck, how about a quick round of love for our sponsors?
Sailor Gang over at, of course, Relax the Back. It's unbelievable. They've taken a holistic approach to a healthier lifestyle. And once again, my back after 20 years in this chair couldn't be happier. I'm not looking for another chair. But if you don't have a chair, you don't have an office chair that really fits and suits your back, your lumbar area, your hips, and even your shoulders, you need to head on over to the Relax the Back store. Human scale office chairs, desks, Tempur-Pedic pillows, mattresses. Heal and recover, work smarter, sleep reimagined, and live pain-free. 2 locations, the Hill Country Galleria, across the street from Whole Foods, and in North Austin at the Gateway Shopping Center, right across the street from the Container Store, to live pain-free like the Buck at Relax the Back.
Yes, indeed, and some love to Altstadt Beer, the best beer that you can find throughout the great state of Texas.
Yeah, that goes along well with that Relax the Back chair, that Altstadt Beer.
Talk about relaxation. Love me some Altstadt beer to relax at the end of a day or at the start of a day. Why not? It doesn't matter. Never a bad time for an Altstadt beer. Brewed locally in Fredericksburg. Easy to find your favorite bars, restaurants, grocery stores, liquor stores, and they've got a bunch of different brews. Something for every beer drinker out there. The lager, the Kolsch, the half, the pills. This is award-winning stuff. It's not just me telling you how good Altstadt is. U.S. Open Beer Championships, the Great American Beer Festival. Altstadt is winning awards and medals every single year. Try this stuff. I'm telling y'all, one sip and you won't go back to the other beers that you have been drinking in the past. My choice should be yours as well. It's Altstadt Beer. No impurities, no regrets. All right. I see him in the waiting room joining us now, as he does each and every Wednesday. It is our Texas Longhorns insider, Chip Brown from horns247.com, and our weekly Chop It Up with Chip, always presented by our great friends at Cover 3, the best sports bar in town. See Breezy rocking that Cover 3 lid again today. Chip, happy August, happy fall camp day, happy football season, my friend. How are you?
Here we go. I mean,
Yes,
are you
indeed.
kidding me? Got training camp starting today. We got, anticipation, real anticipation about this football team with what they did in the offseason. Steve Sarkisian said after the Sugar Bowl loss to Washington in the semifinals, he's borderline obsessed with winning a national championship. Well, he's got a roster that looks like it can go do it. He went out and got Will Muschamp, Coach Boom, to come back and coordinate this defense that has difference makers at every level. A lot of excitement. Got to stay healthy. Got to have some breaks. But, this is going to be a fun season to follow for sure. And the schedule, good heavens, it's one headliner after another, starting with Ohio State on September 12th. So let's go. Yeah, Christmas in August.
Chip, when I look at teams and look at championship types of teams, physicality always it has to stand out on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And even in some of the finesse areas, running back, secondary, does this group have that? I mean, you've been around some teams at the University of Texas. You've seen teams that just have mean dudes, sometimes on and off the field. I mean, they just got, this university has had some killer dogs that are absolutely were crazy, not only on the field, but off the field. But when they got on the field, it just showed. Is this that type of team? I'm not saying you can't win with a bunch of nice guys. Football has nice guys that win too. But does this team look like the kind of guys that will take no nonsense, get to a point where penalties do matter with them when you come to the sideline with their coaches, with their other players on the team? Will the quarterback be able to say, if you jump, I'm about to kick you right square in the ass if you do that again? This is enough. We can't have these goofy penalties. Do you see that with this team? You see like there's some guys that can do that, but maybe some of the guys that are coming in the portal that have been other places too?
Yeah, remember when Vince Young said, USC, them guys don't know how many guys we have who are gangsta? I think you can say that about this team as well. I mean, Colin Simmons, there's no one, hungrier, who wants to put your face in the dirt. They got some guys, Hero Canoe up front. But at linebacker,
Guys playing for money, guys playing for big contracts.
Yeah. I mean, but Raheem Biles, I mean, this guy, he just lives football. Justin Cryer, I think that's a name people need to get to know, the Florida State transfer, because he's a guy who Will Muschamp really likes, really trusts. Remember, he hasn't had a chance to work with Ty Anthony Smith on a day in, day out basis because Smith was coming off the shoulder surgery in spring ball. So Ty Anthony Smith will show what he's got in this training camp. That's important. And then you got all these young linebackers that all the coaches love. Rocky Cummings, Tyler Atkinson, Cozy Opala. Rocky Cummings is that nasty guy for sure. And then Jelani McDonald. I mean, Jelani will turn your lights out. I'm expecting a big year from him. He's not a household name right now. I think he will be by the end of the year because he made a lot of plays last year, but not as many as he'll make with the confidence that he has now. And then it's going to be interesting to see, who emerges as that other safety next to Jelani. Is it Jonah Williams? Is it Kobe Black? Is it Xavier Filsaime? There's good competition at some of these spots at corner. We know Grayson Littleton is a rising star. He can play outside, but I think they really like him in his physicality at the nickel. But I think they'll move him around. I think Wardell Mack will get a look at nickel, and Bo Masco's played nickel. So they're going to be versatile. They're going to be hard to read defensively. Where you want those killers, Bucky, is on the offensive line.
Yes.
You need those Dan Neal types, the guys who just want to fight you for three and a half hours. We haven't seen that, the way it should be. Certainly not last year. And so, let's see it. Let's see it this year. Melvin Siani, I think, is that guy. Trevor Goosby's that guy. But the interior of the line has to be better. I think Brandon Baker will take a step. He's got to get better with his run blocking because now he's at guard where things happen faster. He's a good pass blocker. And a lot of these guys are good pass blockers, but they need to fire off the ball and hit somebody. I mean, what every offensive lineman I've ever talked to said, I want to run the ball. I want to fire off and hit somebody. I don't want to be backpedaling and catching a guy. Well, let's see it. Let's go. This is the biggest question mark on this football team.
Yeah, and the runners are like that too. You've got two runners that are veteran guys that have made all conference teams that have got to be ready to go because they would like to get the hell out of here and make it on the team, no matter what round they're drafted in. They know what running backs are like. They know that they're not first round kind of guys, but they sure like to be a third round kind of guy, and they don't want to come here and have a bunch of guys pillow fighting up in front of them for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And they've got, this is what's going to be interesting about the Cole Hudson situation because Cole, right now right now he's got a temporary restraining order. He's with the team. I expect to see him out at practice today. But you've got young guys coming up too. The Devin Coleman, Jordan Colemans of the world. How do you balance that? I mean, if you're going for it this year, then you welcome Cole Hudson back just to have the experience and the depth and let the paramedics sort him out, let him battle and whoever wins that left guard position, if that's the one that's up for grabs, then, so be it. Lawrence Seymour, 6-year senior transferring in, he's got to win the job. And so let's see how that goes. And maybe, Jordan Coleman has something to say about it. So I think the offensive line is going to be better. I mean, it has to be, right? It can't be worse.
Yeah, that's the hope. Chip Brown, horns247.com, our weekly Chop It Up with Chip segment presented by our great friends at Cover 3, the best sports bar in town. Well, Chip, you brought up young guys. I want to ask about two young guys who have generated a ton of buzz since stepping foot on campus back in the wintertime. Derek Cooper and Jermaine Bishop Jr. You've written about him. You've talked about him. Now that fall camp is here. Look, there's a lot of good running backs on this team. There's a lot of great receivers on this team. How close are those two freshmen, do you think, cracking the rotation and maybe getting some significant playing time early for the Longhorns this season?
Well, it's been interesting because Jermaine Bishop has spent the summer at defensive back. He spent the spring at receiver. He spent the summer at defensive back. I think he's going to go back to receiver now that the camp is starting, but we'll see today. And I think I'm fascinated by their slot receiver position because, I'm told Emmett Mosley is one of the best route runners on the team. He's in the slot. So's Dalen McCutcheon, who's also an excellent route runner. So's Jermaine Bishop, who's probably the most electric of any of these guys from a speed and wiggle, cut in space type of guy. He's more of a Xavier Worthy, the slight speedster, whereas, Ryan Wingo and Cam Coleman are bigger guys who also have speed. And then you've got, Mosley and McCutcheon in there. And don't forget about Sterling Burkhalter, who has played in Sarkisian's offense at Wake Forest last year, who, I'm told had as good a spring as anybody. So, I'm fascinated. Jermaine Bishop is a guy, he's so electric. You think you gotta find a way to get him on the field. So it would not shock me if there's a rotation in the slot where, Emmett Mosley's probably your number one. And then they find some plays for, Dalen McCutcheon and Jermaine Bishop. And then if they show that they're dependable, that they're where they're supposed to be in their routes and they're catching the football, they're going to keep getting more plays because that's kind of what we saw from Dalen McCutcheon. He was not the headliner receiver in that freshman class last year. It was Jamie French and Kalik Lockett. Jamie French is now at Michigan. Kalik Lockett is, back healthy, fast, big. I mean, that receiver room, that's going to be a hell of a job. I remember talking to Chris Jackson before a couple seasons ago, and I said, how you doing sorting out those guys? And he's like, oh, hell. I mean, it's first world problems. It's good problems to have. But, man, receivers should not be an issue for Texas this year. And Derek Cooper, I could see him as the short yardage back, as a way to get him on the field because he can, he's got the blitz pickup. He knows how to protect the quarterback, or at least that's what Jabbar Jalouk felt coming out of spring. So, the guy just is not phased. Like, he looks like he should have been here all along. And those are the guys you gotta take for a test drive early to see if they've just got it, because I think Raleigh Brown, he's a violent runner, but he's fun to watch, man. I'm a big Raleigh Brown guy. I know other people like Hollywood Smothers because he's smooth and he's kind of glides, but Raleigh Brown, man, they got some thunder and some lightning, and then Derek Cooper's kind of a combo of both.
Yeah, Derek Cooper just reminds me of a kid, as you said, Chip. If that guy goes in and it's 3rd and 2, he can turn 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 60 all of a sudden. You miss a tackle or you overextend yourself, that guy is, you stick a hand out there and he's gone out the gate. It's not just a 2-yard run. It could be a 60-yard run. And it looks like he's got that kind of speed too.
Yeah. And he wants to be great. And those are the guys that you want to give them some snacks and see if they can turn it into a meal,
I like that. Chip Brown, horns247.com, joining us here on Bucky and BK, our weekly Chopping Up with Chip segment presented by Cover 3. Everybody wants to talk about Arch Manning all the time, Chip, but I want to ask you about the backup quarterback situation. Look, it seems like KJ Lacey's QB2, and there's not a huge battle for the short term, but any Longhorn fan, I think, knows how important a backup quarterback can be. What's your confidence level in KJ Lacey? What are you hoping to see and hear about him over these next few weeks? And how do you think the coaches feel about KJ Lacey if they need him in a pinch?
Well, the thing about KJ is that he was playing behind the second team offensive line and still making plays, and that's saying a lot because we know the first team offensive line had work to do coming out of last season. But his pocket presence is what is giving Steve Sarkisian a lot of belief and trust, because KJ Lacey's not the biggest guy. They list him, at 6 feet. He's under that. But he has really good pocket presence. He knows when to extend a play behind the line of scrimmage to keep his eyes downfield to throw, and when to break it and when to run. And he's got quickness, Barry Switzer, short area quickness, got some quickness. So he can kind of get away from guys, go get you 6-7 yards. And if he's got room, he could turn it into more than that. But the thing that you talk to sources, he's accurate with the football. Like, he doesn't miss the layups. He doesn't miss the free throws. Like, he hits, and that's what you want to hear, because if he needs to go in, can he get that ball out on time? Can he get it there accurately? And then if there's a breakdown, can he, keep you ahead of the chains? And I think he can. And Steve Sarkisian at SEC Media Days described KJ Lacey as he's a dangerous guy. And it's because he has that feel. He knows when to keep a play alive, when to run, and he can go get you some yards with his legs. And he's not the biggest guy, doesn't need to be taking hits, needs to be sliding. But I think he's ready. And he hasn't, he's barely played. I mean, barely. But he beat out Trey Owens last year, midseason, to be the travel quarterback. And the rest, has kind of been history in terms of him building that trust with Steve Sarkisian. So I think he's ready. I think his teammates trust him.
Chip, there, how about the tight end position there? I mean, I'm asking a question I really don't care about, but is there going to be a standout guy? Because I don't think there is. Because give me just another receiver. You talk about Emmett Mosley and all these guys. Just give me another receiver to run tight end routes. That's all I care about. If they're going to block, there can be blockers. But is there somebody you think is just going to just jump out and all of a sudden just take over that lead there at tight end?
Well, I think you're going to see Michael Masunis as, the number one guy. He can block and catch. But Spencer Shannon is going to play. He's going to play. And then Nick Townsend is going to be the number 2 tight end in the 12 personnel. And that's the guy, you should be able to get loose for, put him in motion, get him some free releases to make some plays. So each guy kind of has a role. And then you got Amari Winston, who's kind of my favorite guy because, he's 6'1", 248. He's a football player. Like, he wants contact. He's tough. He's got 10-inch hands. He catches everything. And he catches the ball down the field. And we know Sarkisian loves that. So, could we see Steve Sarkisian leaning more on that H-back role because he'll block too?
If you want to call him an H-back, then I'll be fine with that. I like the word H-back instead of tight end.
Yeah, I mean,
if he's just another fullback.
Yeah, let's bring back that ISO, right?
Yeah.
Buck? I mean, get those fullbacks coming through the hole, leading the way. Or in this case, Amari Winston leading the way. So I'm very intrigued. But you're right. I mean, the tight end's not going to be the feature in this offense, but it could be a really nice change of pace surprise for Ohio State. They're probably not preparing for 85, Amari Winston. They're probably thinking Michael Masunas, who they've seen at Michigan State. So he's got options.
Yeah. Chip Brown, horns247.com, joining us here, our weekly Longhorns Insider segment, brought to you by our great friends at Cover 3, the best sports bar in town. I guess general question, Chip. I mean, we've talked about a lot of positions today, but is there one thing or a couple of things that you really want to hear or see through these open practice sessions, through these Steve Sarkisian press conferences? Like what would you like to hear or see the most that will give you confidence that this truly can be a national championship season for these Texas Longhorns?
Well, outside of the offensive line looking, strong, Arch Manning needs to pick up where he left off last year. Like, he's had a lot of time to listen to stuff, and it sounds a lot like last year. I mean, he's a Heisman favorite. He's on a team that people think can win the national championship. Is he, going to make all the layups, all the free throws? Last year he came out, there was a lot going on. He kind of had to get out of his own head. And it took a while, and he needs to come out razor sharp from the beginning. What's interesting is neither of his uncles had great completion percentages in college. They were like right around 64, 62%. And that's where Arch is. The elite quarterbacks are at 70. Colt McCoy set the single season completion percentage record, 76.3%. That year, he completed 55% of his passes on 3rd and 7 or longer. Like, that's insane stuff. But that's what elite quarterbacks do. And if Arch is there, then we should see that this year. If he's not, and I talked to Drew Fabianich, the Senior Bowl director, who said, don't rush it. Like, keep developing. Your uncle's played, 30, 40 college games as the starter. Arch is entering, his 16th, 17th game. And if he plays 13 games this year, he'll be at 30, which is typically what the NFL wants as a sample size. But, is he razor sharp from the beginning of this season? He's coming off the foot surgery, and, he's like, I'm fine. Everything's great. So I think that's important because, I think back to Quinn Ewers in his second year as the full-time starter. He goes to Alabama and plays elite football. 24 of 36, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Mm-hmm. Had to lead, a late touchdown drive at Alabama with the place coming apart sound-wise, and he did it. And Arch is going to have that kind of atmosphere at Tennessee. He's obviously going to have his hands full against Ohio State, but Quinn went on the road and dealt in his second year as the full-time starter. And so I think, those are the kind of things that we're looking for from Arch.
And Chip, with the special teams, when I asked you about a tough team, physical team, is there enough talent that when we talk about Derek Cooper, if he's that good of an athlete, we will see him on special teams, whether it's running down, making tackles. If he's just that talented, do they have enough of those type of guys that, you worry about them, they're backups, but, you're only going to use them as backups on the positions that they play? Or are they going to get on the field on special teams and get something done that way?
Well, they love Tyler Atkinson, Rocky Cummings, and Cozy Opala as special teams guys until they're ready to, be on the field on the defense full time or even in a rotational role. Remember Ty Anthony Smith on special teams was a killer. I think they feel like they have that, and some of these, defensive backs, Samari Matthews, Hayward Howard, these guys are big, long, fast guys who you don't want to have too many of those young guys out there, but you want to have the right ones out there. And I think they feel like they've got those guys. So, special teams has not been great in terms of punt and kick coverage. Outside of Ryan Niblett, I mean, obviously Mason Shipley was good. So was Jack Bomeister, but you weren't getting much out of your kick return. And then the coverage units, not great. And sometimes, you were committing a penalty that would wipe out a big play.
To make the traveling squad and get on the club. I mean, that's just a great place. If you're a great, if you're a 4 or 5 star athlete, you can get down there and make a damn tackle, make a guy miss. You can block a guy and stay on him without grabbing him. I mean, that's those. BK gave a stat about the national championship teams. I mean, they're pretty good on special teams. They're not just there just for the hell of it. I mean, they do some things. And with these athletes, I'm thinking they probably got enough athletes to start doing that kind of stuff again.
Yeah, and Jade Barron, I mean, you think about the guys who made their name, Quintravian Wisner, who made their name on special teams, always getting down the field, always making the tackle. Chris Boyd was one who was just phenomenal. And I think, Jeff Banks does a really good job of making special teams important. And Steve Sarkisian gives him the practice time to where all the players are like, okay, this is a big deal because we take like multiple periods out of practice for special teams. So this is the year where they need it to come together for sure, because if you're going all in like Texas has in the off season, there are no excuses and you can't have holes. So, Sarkisian's been on them about penalties. The whole unit does the punishment, which I'm thinking, wasn't that like from the beginning?
Yeah. Why did that have to just start?
This is new. And Torrey Becton's been on him about the penalties and all that stuff. So, let's see. You get what you demand as a coach. Let's see if he gets what he demands.
Yeah. Chip, last thing for you before we let you go. You're a Detroit Tigers fan, and y'all are having a disappointing season. And I don't want to talk about the Tigers' disappointing season. I want to ask you, why did y'all have to trade Tarek Skubal to the Dodgers? Couldn't you have traded him anywhere else? Why are you giving one of the best pitchers in baseball to the best team in baseball, man?
Yeah. I mean, these prospects that the Tigers are getting better turn into freaking all-stars and I think 2 of them are guys that the Dodgers got in a trade and just turned around and flipped them. So it's not like these guys have come up through the farm system, but yeah, it's so annoying. I mean, it's so annoying that the Tigers not only lose Tarek Skubal, but lose him, to the Dodgers of all people. I mean, when is enough enough? Their pitching staff looks like an all-star team.
Yes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But they have lost 6 in a row, so there's the good news. The Dodgers are scuffling, but they'll figure it out. They always do. Chip, great stuff, as always. Before we let you go, look, fall camp, I know it's big time for y'all at Horns 24/7. What do you guys have in store for the people over these next few weeks?
Overload. So come on over to Horns 24/7. Get in there, enjoy. Get an annual membership so that you get VIP access to all the team sites on the 24/7 Sports Network and a year's subscription to Paramount Plus. If you're a UFC fan, you get all those fights for free because you'll be getting an annual subscription to Paramount Plus with your subscription to Horns 24/7.
Beautiful. Chip, you're the man. Thanks so much for the time, my friend. Enjoy camp, and we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks,
there
man.
he goes. Chip Brown, horns247.com. Our weekly Chop It Up with Chip segment presented by our great friends at Cover 3, the best sports bar in town. 2 locations, one on Anderson Lane just east of Mopac, the other in Round Rock. It's elevated sports bar food. Of course, you got all the classic sports bar things, TVs everywhere, the sound on. You got the cold beer. You got tons of great cocktails to choose from. The service is fantastic. Maybe those aren't classic sports bar staples. There are a lot of sports bars around town, or at least places that claim to be sports bars that don't have that. But what really separates Cover 3 is their menu. This is like fine dining here. You got
Yeah.
more than just the burgers and the wings and the pizza. You got a great filet mignon. You've got the brick chicken mac and cheese. You got the buffalo chicken sliders. You've got nice salads. You've got something for everybody in the entire family. You're going to actually enjoy the meal that you get. It's not just, oh, there's TVs, so we have to go. No, you're going to look forward to the meals that you get at Cover 3. It's why it's my favorite sports bar and why I think it will be yours as well. It's Cover 3, Dining, Spirits, Sports.
My good friends over at St. Patrick since 1975, the incredible selection of Longhorn apparel, collectibles, accessories, tons of Texas-themed items, gifts, books, the whole works. We're expecting those scheduled classes to come out very, very soon. Get over there and pick those up in a wide variety of men's and women's clothing in all sizes, all shapes, all sizes, just for you wonderful people. 50 years of service in Central Texas. Over at St. Patrick's, of course. And folks, they've got the Jellycat selection is back in stock, of course. Free curbside pickup. Plenty of parking space there at 5222 Burnett Road. Go by and say hello to Jay. They got the head covers up there for golf. They got the golf balls, all your golf accessories. You're going to have a hat. You're going to try to get a little vacation time in here. You got to sport your Longhorn gear on the road. Get the T-shirt. I was wearing my, of course, my scheduled T-shirt out yesterday. People telling me, show me your back. Show me your back. Leave your front alone, Buck. Let's just see the back of you. Wearing that out there. Love St. Patrick. For more information, folks, go to stpatrick.com.
Yeah, rocking my back-to-back national champion softball hat today.
Sweet.
St. Patrick exclusive. Shout out to them. Also, a shout out to our friends at Roger Beasley Mazda South. In sports, dynasties aren't built overnight. They're earned year after year, and that's why Mazda South stands apart. You talk about a dynasty. How about 30 consecutive Mazda President's Club Awards? They're also the #1 Mazda dealer in the state of Texas, setting a standard for excellence. That's what Mazda South has done. Whether you're driving down Mopac or 35, parking at HEB, headed to a Texas football game, look, you see Mazdas everywhere. Chances are a family member, a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, they've got one. That's a testament to Mazda's incredible reliability. And of course, backed by the trusted name of Roger Beasley Mazda. 55 years serving Central Texas, and Roger Beasley Mazda is still growing. Again, 30 straight President's Club Awards, the #1 Mazda dealer in the state of Texas. Fantastic people who work there. Shout out to Brett. Shout out to Bryant. D at the front desk, super sweet. Shout out to Ryan. Fantastic people who will give you a great car buying experience. Of course, you could trade in as well. But those Mazdas are slick, man. They got me driving around. I saw you yesterday after the show.
That thing was beautiful.
Rolling up in the CX-5 that they loaned me. And it's smooth. It looks great. It drives great. Definitely check out the all-new 2026 Mazda CX-5. Of course, the reliability, the safety features. It feels like you're driving a luxury car and you ain't paying a luxury price. Check him out. Roger Beasley Mazda South on I-35, just south of Highway 71.
Our good friends over at Woods Comfort Systems for 71 years in Central Texas. Folks, be careful and make sure that everything's working properly. I called my guy yesterday with my, I have that generator. I'm like, dude, can you get my battery over here? But with my Woods Comfort Systems that I've had for 5 years, I haven't had to worry about that, knocking on wood. And if anything ever happens, all I have to do is call their fantastic technicians. They will get here on time. Woods Comfort System is doing not only heating, but we know they do air conditioning, but plumbing. If you got a problem with any of your plumbing, please don't do it yourself. Go to the people that know how to do it best, and that's our friends at Woods Comfort Systems. Nobody does it better.
No, they don't. WoodsComfortSystems.com or call them 512-842-5066. Speaking of nobody doing it better, McCall Custom Homes, our guy Mike McCall and his great team at McCall Custom Homes. Were they out at your place yesterday?
Yeah, they're doing some stuff where the goaters next to me, their water comes through the fence and puddles up. Well, they put a little duct there that goes underneath. They fix it all up. And Mike said, no, that's not good enough. He goes, we need to add some concrete so that water, when it hits the ground, won't keep digging down in the ground. but it'll smoothly go into the bigger deal there. And I'm like, you think so, Mike? He goes, I know so. So he's coming back over today and putting some cement in there. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, most people don't have those problems.
No, they don't have the goaters next to them where the
No.
goats have eaten up all the grass to the roots, so there's nothing but dirt and rocks. And when it gets rainy down here, guess where it comes to? Down to my section,
Yeah, you don't
along
want
with the
any of
little
that.
goat pellet poops. So not happy with that, but I'm happy with Mike. He's awesome.
Hey, dream big, they say. And if you've been dreaming of a big house or a big upgrade to your house, you can make your dreams come true with McCall Custom Homes. Whether it's solving your goat crap problems, more likely you just want to live in a better place. It's your home after all. You want it to be special. Reach out to McCall Custom Homes. They're custom home builders and renovators and goat crap herders, apparently. McCall Custom Homes, ATX.com. Mike listens every day. He's tuned in. He just texted in on the Coda text line. He's a great dude. Reach out to him. He can make your home dreams come true. A+ rated by the BBB. Tons of 5-star reviews online. 4 decades of experience. Reach out to him. McCall Custom Homes, ATX.com, or you can call or text Mike directly. Same number he just texted in on the Coda text line, 512-633-9580.
And they do a great job in turning homes over, BK, going and redoing the homes that they have. They're the best of the fixer-uppers, not those two brothers that you see on TV. I know you guys got your wives watching the fixer-upper brothers. Those two dudes. Get Mike McCall to get you one of those. He'll get you all.
The property
Yeah,
bros.
property bros. Those two jabronis. Yeah,
They
really.
are jabronis, to
And
say the
they're something,
least.
those two dudes. I'm telling you. I watched like 2 episodes today. I said, I don't want to listen to these two clowns.
Yeah, no jabronis allowed. We don't need
No.
that. We don't want them in your home or working on your home. No, thank you.
It's good to hear Chip BK talk about all aspects of this team need to be buttoned up. And the special teams, I think he feels the same way I feel. If you got all these 4 and 5 stars, get them out there running down. Those guys used to play all kinds of positions in high school. They weren't just one position players. At some times in their high school lives, they went down there and covered kicks, or they went and blocked punts, or their coach had them on the corner trying to block a punt. You know, put those guys in position where the best athlete can get out there and get something done for you.
You know, I don't want to sit here and act like last year was a good thing, or I'm happy with the fact that Texas went 9-3 and missed the college football playoff. Like, that's not what we wanted, and I won't change my mind on that. It would have been a lot more fun to compete for an SEC title and get into this 12-team CFP. But long term, there could be some benefits from a disappointing 2025 season, because I think that forced Sark, and he says he self-evaluates and self-scouts and reflects after every offseason, and I'm sure he did, but Texas made the 14 playoff in 2023. They won the Big 12 championship. People were pretty happy, right? That was a huge step in the right direction for Texas. A very successful season. You're not going to change a whole lot after a year like that. Then 2024 happens, year 1 in the SEC. Everyone's been doubting you. Oh, you ain't ready for this conference. Good luck. Texas goes to the SEC title game. They make the college football playoff. They win 2 college football playoff games. I know they lost, but still a very successful season for Texas football. You're not going to change a whole lot after those 2 years. You go 9-3, you totally underachieve. That forces you to really change some things. And I think Steve Sarkisian did. Obviously, he's talked about it with the culture for months now, saying he started his culture work a lot earlier this offseason than he did last year. You see it with what he did in the portal, right? Texas attacked the portal 4 or 5 times harder this offseason than they did last offseason. You see it with the coaching change from Pete Kwiatkowski to Will Muschamp. You hear it with the penalties, right? Like, Texas wasn't great in the penalty department in 23 and 24, but I don't remember hearing Steve Sarkisian talk about trying to clean that up. Why? Because the team was good, and he's thinking, well, we're making the playoff, so it's not a big deal. They missed the playoff. They're second to last in penalties. Now the head coach is like, oh, maybe that is a big deal. Maybe we do need to do something about it. So hopefully, time will tell, but I believe there are some benefits to a disappointing season. Obviously not fun in real time, but I think it made Steve Sarkisian do some things that he wouldn't have done if Texas qualified for the playoff last year.
Yeah, and my next thing is get the offense off to a fast start. None of this go down there, get them deep, have to kick a field. No, go down, score touchdowns. When you get the ball, take advantage of every opportunity you have when you have the ball. And I don't care what it is, but you can't run just so plays just to run plays and hope that your offense is, we're good enough to just, no, give me some good stuff. We need good stuff
Yeah,
and
well,
fast stuff early.
you've been talking about this offense getting to 40 points per game this season,
Yes.
which is a number they have not gotten to in the Steve Sarkisian era. Last year, their lowest point per game output, even lower than the 5-7 2021 season. Texas averaged just 30.5 points per
That's
game
not good
last
enough. You
year.
got too much talent.
He got way too much. You had too much talent last year for that, but you got
Yes.
way more talent this year. And obviously, a quarterback in his second year as the starter, you should be pushing 40. I'd love for you to be right and for them to get to 40, but you got to be in the 37, 38, 39 range at least for this to be a successful year for the offense. Like, it's
Yeah,
that good.
more three and outs on defense than on offense to start out games,
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah,
Yes.
look, Texas had its worst offense in the Sark era last year, and they had their worst defense in the last 3 years last season. So you just look at some numbers. Obviously, the eye test tells the story too, but it's pretty easy to figure out, okay, why things took a step back for the Longhorns last year. There's a lot to clean up, and it's on Steve Sarkisian to get it done. And I think he's done everything right. He said a little more than I probably wish he did, but in terms of like actions, I care about that way more. He's
Sure.
done pretty much everything that I wanted him to do this offseason. So I think it's going to pay off. Obviously, it has to. But yeah, I'm excited about this team. This roster is loaded. They're experienced in all the right spots. They patched some holes that they needed to patch. They've got about as much depth as you could possibly have in this transfer portal NIL era, which it feels like it's harder to have depth now than ever before because guys want their money and they want to play, and teams aren't going to pay guys a bunch of money to sit on the bench. So they've got everything that you need to have that offense, to have that defense, to be better on special teams, going back to your first point. There's no reason it's not going to all come together.
Right. Random question, BK.
Yeah.
We talked about Lincoln Riley. Is Gary Patterson there as an analyst for defense, or is he the defensive coordinator now?
He is the defensive coordinator now.
Really? Yow. I thought maybe he was just a substitute teacher, kind of.
Is that a yow, like that's not going to work, yow, or?
No, I mean, if it's going to work, that's the guy that it can work with.
Well, yeah, Lincoln Riley's tried. I mean, you go back to his time at Oklahoma, he's been like just constantly trying to figure out that side of the football. So Gary Patterson, I mean, he's an elite defensive mind. He's one of the most accomplished defensive people in the sport in the last 30 years.
Handing that over to him, that's a good move on Lincoln Riley's part.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one, like you said, if you don't get it done, that's the one that'll get you get out of it. Okay, it's time to go.
It was a good yow for Gary Patterson being there. Yeah, he's 66 years old. Some folks wonder if the game has passed him by a little bit. Clearly, folks in Fort Worth felt that way when they got rid of him. But yeah, he was a special assistant to the head coach here in 2022. Then he took 2023 off. In 2024, he was a consultant at Baylor. He took last year off and did some analyst work and studio work. And then now, yeah, he's back to defensive coordinator. So this is the first time since 2021 where he actually has a real say in something that happens. And now he goes to USC to where, yeah, like you said, they better win. He better be good or they're all getting canned.
Yes. That'll
And
be
for
interesting.
Lincoln Riley will get another job if he gets fired. Gary Patterson at 66, he'd be 67 at that point. I don't really know.
No, he'll be doing his grandson's games or something.
Coaching them or calling them?
Coaching them.
You say he'll be the PA guy up at
No, he'll be the coach. He'll be the guest coach every day coming in.
Guest coach. If he wants to coach, so whatever dad has to be like, you know what? I'm stepping aside.
Move aside, Dad.
Yeah, like if Gary Patterson wants to coach my kid, then you know what? I get some more free time during the week. Thank you very much. I don't have to coach these rotten 8-year-olds anymore. They could learn from Gary instead. Yeah, I'm going to take my out.
I'm telling you, At my coaching career, I was very fortunate. I never coached high school. I always thought that I was missing out on something. And then I'm thinking, no, you didn't. You didn't miss out on anything. It's good. You went right to college coaching.
Hey, nothing wrong with high school football, right?
No, love it. I
You
get to see it all the time now.
just don't want to deal with those kids, huh?
No, don't want to deal with those parents. That's what I don't want to deal with.
Oh yeah, I guess because college kids are college kids, but the
Yeah,
parents are a little more hands off at that point because they're not there.
no.
But yeah, high school, yeah, you gotta deal with soccer mom.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, yeah, that
Love it.
can't be fun. My son's not playing enough. Your son sucks.
Yeah, how about that? How about that to the high school? How would you like to say that to the high school? Your son's just not good enough. You didn't send him to enough camps.
Yeah,
Send him
your
to my camp
genes,
next
your
year.
gene. You know what? Get out there, run routes. There's the problem. That's why your kid isn't any good. It ain't my
No,
coaching. It's your
okay,
genetics.
that is not what a parent wants to hear. That is not, believe me, when you become a parent, which you will, that is not what you want to hear. You don't want to hear, I think he has your genes. Really?
Yeah. Well, my girlfriend's not much of an athlete either. So if she's
Yeah,
the
but
one
she's
that
tall. They'll be tall.
she ain't tall. What is she's like 5'5"?
She's taller than 5'5".
I don't know. Five
I
six?
mean, she's about close to my height. You
Exactly.
know it.
5'5".
No,
No,
no.
like, dude, I will not be mad at any coach saying my kid ain't good enough because I heard the same things and my kid will. I mean, if he's
Hear the
got
same
half of
thing.
me, yeah, he's gonna hear the same things.
Oh God.
So I'm not gonna be like. Of course, I want my kid to get a scholarship. I'll say, hey,
Hell
maybe
yeah.
try golf. You can be fat and unathletic and whatever and be good at golf. So just here, I'll put a golf club in your hand at the age of 1 week. Figure that out.
And I'll pay these golf coaches and all these specialized. Well, everything's specialized anyway, so it doesn't matter. Not
Yeah,
just golf; it's everything.
yeah, but I've already accepted the fact that I will be paying for my future children's college. I ain't like you got good genes. Your kids were getting scholarships. That will not be me.
Maybe they'll have academics. Oh, because you believe in academics.
Yeah, you think my kids get it? You talk to me for 2 hours every day. You think my dumbass genes are gonna work? My girlfriend's a lot smarter than me. They better hope
There you go.
they better hope they get mom's genes
There you
with that
go.
one. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we'll get to the BBK news. I think, Buck, we have found the best method to sell college football season tickets ever. Ever, ever, ever. We're going to talk about that plus a few more funny stories to get to. But real quick, couple more sponsor shout outs. We will start. I believe it's all me at this point, my
It's you,
friend.
brother.
How about Kalshi?
Yes, sir.
Before the season even kicks off, everyone's making predictions. Who wins the division? Who makes the playoffs? Who's lifting the trophy at season's end? On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. Will the Dallas Cowboys make the playoffs this season? Right now, the Cowboys are trading at a 54% probability, meaning
Oh,
a
yeah.
$100 trade will net you $176 if the Cowboys clinch a playoff spot. I know the Buck is very high on the Cowboys winning the NFC East this year. If you feel the same way, you could trade that on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position at any time. Trade the draft pick, trade the game, and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app and use code Bucky to get up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. You heard that right. Up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25 if you use the promo code Kalshi. That's Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risks and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Making coin.
So real quick note on the trades you can do on Kalshi. This is perfect for you, Buck. We got to get you using your own promo code on
Okay.
Kalshi. You know what you can trade on there? You can trade on the temperature in Austin every single day.
Get out of here. We go to that? Really?
The highest temperature in Austin today. It's 100 to 101. That's trading at 60%. 98 to 99, trading at 34%. 102, 103, trading at 5%. You can trade on the weather, dude.
Yeah, I'd be going from 100 to 101 today.
Okay. Well, there you go. $100 trade there will net you about 150 bones.
50 bones on top of that.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Kalshi. Promo code
And
Bucky.
since I'm such a weatherer, could I predict that? Can I get it in the rain deal too?
You probably could.
Oh, man.
That's the beauty of Kalshi.
Nice.
The beauty of Centex tickets is, well, you can buy tickets and get 10% off when you do. CentexTickets.com. We love supporting local business. Centex Tickets is all about local. Look, I understand you've got a lot of different ticket marketplaces out there, but the Centex is the best for a number of reasons. Number one, all of their tickets are 100% legit, 100% guaranteed. You don't have to worry about spam. You don't have to worry about scams, none of that stuff. Number two, you're helping to support a local business. And number three, you get a 10% off discount code, not just once, but every time you buy tickets. All you have to do is type in the promo code CENTEX10 and you'll get 10% off, whether you're buying one, whether you're buying four, if you're going to a Texas football game, a Texas volleyball game, a concert, a comedy show, whatever. Centex Tickets has every ticket to everything that you want to attend. Log on from your phone or computer, super easy to use, CentexTickets.com.
I wonder if I could bet on that little girl how many beers she can drink now after 2 years. How many she can down at a game.
What would
she's probably this time she's probably got a 3-beer minimum.
I was going to ask the over-under for this girl, the amount of beer she downs over the course of a 60-minute football game at DKR TMS.
I'm gonna say 2.5.
Over under 2.5?
Yeah, 2.5. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think she can slam 3. Although she's looking around like, hey, I'm almost done with this. Is somebody gonna go get me a beer?
She's clearly done this before. And again, this is from 2024. So this is 2 seasons ago. So she has aged a lot.
Yeah, she's a full 6 or 7 by now.
Well, you're right. I think she will down a full 6 or 7 beers during the game.
Oh my God.
You're saying 2.5 is the line? I'm taking the over easily.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's walking right up there to the refreshment stand herself and putting down mom's credit card and saying, hey, give me a 6. I'm good.
And you know, the bartender, the person working the concession stands is like, can I see your ID? And she says, no. She takes the beer and goes.
No, you can't see it. Just give me my 6-pack.
Give me my beer.
I'm a kid. What do you think I'm going to do with this? Drink it? Come on.
Damn right. She's going to drink it.
That's
my hero right there. Don't be bashing.
I'm glad it was Pepsi.
Yeah, you wish it was Pepsi.
Man.
I don't.
By the way, folks, next week I will be off a couple days and I won't be celebrating with you, but I will be celebrating my 26th year of sobriety. 26 years next week, BK.
Well, congratulations on that. Also, you're off next week?
What is it next week? The 11th, 12th, the 12th? Are we getting into the 12th and 13th and all that?
Yeah. All right, we'll talk about this after the show.
Oh my God.
Congrats on.
I must have screwed you up or something. Yeah, but I'll be celebrating the 26 years of sobriety by going out and getting hammered. No, not really.
Whoa. Are you going back to PA?
No, I'm not going to that place. That's where it all started.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to do that.
That place. Yeah, good thinking there. 26 years. How about that?
That's for me. That's one of my incredible feats of life right there. I know people would say, why is that so? It just is. Believe me.
I don't know why people would ask why that's an incredible feat. There's no doubt that that's an incredible feat. Tremendous accomplishment.
What's your incredible accomplishments a week?
I make like 26 D's nuts jokes per day. That's my 26
I
accomplishment.
love it. I
Oh, you're
love it.
saying what's good for me in terms of not having an Altstadt beer?
Yeah, a week.
If I make it a week, yeah, I'd say that's a strong showing
What would
from me.
what would call what would be the reason why you could go a week without? Is it just that you didn't get any? You didn't pick up any? Is that it? Or do you have times where you say, I'm not going to drink this week at all?
I have times where I'd say I'm not going to drink this
Do
week at
you?
all. Yeah,
You're a young 32-year-old guy. You do have that kind of time when you say, not this week.
I don't know. Maybe I don't plan it out that far in advance. It's
Do you ever
usually
have a
like
time where you say, not this month?
no. People do like dry January. That's a popular thing with a lot of folks. It's like
Yeah,
start off the year, clean out the system a little bit, right? In December with all the holidays and the family time, you're drinking a lot.
sure.
So it's like, all right, let me clean up a little bit, do a little dry January. That I do not do, and that I don't know I could do.
Yeah, that's the scary part when you say, I don't know if I could do. That's where you start thinking about it.
Yeah, well, I trust myself. Look, if someone offered me a bunch of money, like, yeah, I'll do it. Sure, why not? But I don't.
Yeah,
Without that,
offer me something to do this to my body.
yeah, I'll just go to the gym. I'll work out, whatever. Let me keep drinking, but I'll take care of myself in other ways.
Yeah, I'm happy with people that can do that, that have the ability to do those things.
I'm
I think
fortunate.
that's great. There's a lot of people that are fortunate that can do that, that people can have. There are those that can have a couple drinks a night or a couple drinks a week and not even worry about it.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
yeah. And you did
I,
not have that.
no, I didn't have that. I didn't have that gene in me.
No,
No,
no, you didn't.
I drank for a reason,
To
and it
get
wasn't
drunk.
to stay. And it wasn't to stay sober.
Yeah, I was gonna say you drank to get drunk. You drank with
Yes.
a purpose.
Yeah, I had a purpose when I did. It
Oh
wasn't one
man,
of those, I was feeling depressed. No, I needed to have that.
there you go. Impressive. All right. Well, the BBK news today, Buck. I think I have found the best strategy that a college football program has ever used to sell season tickets. A couple years ago, we talked about Coastal Carolina. Remember, they were offering free concessions? You remember us talking about that?
Oh
Free
yeah, oh
concession
yeah, oh yeah,
items?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did that for an entire year. Maybe they still do that for
Yeah,
the
they did
shop.
it for that one football season. I don't know if they still do. I wonder if they're still up to that.
That was a great bit, right? Like, yeah, you
Yes, it
spend money
was.
on tickets and parking, whatever, but you get to the game. If you want a hot dog, it's free. You want nachos, it's free. You want a soda,
Wow.
it's free. An incredible bit. We loved it, and I'm sure Coastal Carolina fans loved it. And we tried to get Chris Del Conte to do that at Texas, and we knew that was never going to happen, but it was worth a try. Well, that was a great bit by Coastal. But what Akron out of the MAC, Buck, what the Zips have done passes that with flying colors and usurps anything anybody has ever tried in an effort to sell season tickets. If you buy an Akron season ticket and you sign up, you have a chance to design the opening drive of the Akron Zips home opener against Robert Morris. You can be an offensive coordinator for the very first drive of the Zips season. You get to script their play call of their home opener. It's a random drawing among season ticket holders. So you can't just buy, one game's worth of tickets. You can't just sign up online. You have to purchase Akron season tickets. But if you do that, you will be entered into a drawing that will happen on August 19th, 2 weeks from today. And if you win, you get to script the opening drive in the homo for Akron.
Huh.
How about that?
Only in the MAC, brother.
That's the most Mac thing we've ever talked about,
Yeah,
is it
it
not?
is.
I mean, how cool is this? A selected fan will work directly with Zips football head coach Joe Moorhead to design the plays that open the game. It's a first of its kind experience in college football. And all current season ticket holders are automatically entered into a drawing, and you'll receive additional entries for every new season ticket holder that you successfully refer. So you can do things. Not only you buy your own tickets, but if you refer other people to buy season tickets, you get more entries and more opportunities to win this contest.
Wow.
Are we buying Akron season tickets?
Somebody said you can put that on your resume there as an offensive coordinator then. Hell
Well,
yeah.
what happens if you score? Like you call the plays or design the plays, whatever it is for that first drive, and the Zips march down the field and score a touchdown. Do you get another?
I want some NIL money for that move.
I want to keep calling more plays.
Of course you would.
What an opportunity here. I mean, for everybody who sits on their couch and yells at the coaches for crappy play calls, this is your chance to prove that you are better than them.
Yeah, then you could yell at your crappy neighbor for making those calls if you're a Zip fan. Hey, I know you won that. Those are your calls, you idiot.
What are you doing? I mean, you've gotten the chance to do this before, so this I'm thinking more in terms of me, a guy who never has and never will get the opportunity to do this. Like, I'm thinking, am I putting in the fattest guy at running back and just handing the ball off to him? Am I doing
No,
like
I know what you're throwing them bombs. Somebody's going deep across the middle for your opening play is that bomb
am I
where
doing
everybody's back 30 yards. There's 3 safeties back there just waiting your bomb, probably.
maybe am I doing a double reverse flea flicker? Something like a badass trick play?
Well, there's a badass trick play in your first couple. That's for sure.
I can tell you what, if we get to a fourth down, the punter's not trotting out on the field. We're going for it.
Well, I mean, if you're playing against Texas, if Akron's just playing against them, you can always fake the punt.
Can always do a fake punt. And that has worked more against Texas than we would like. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think, man. Like, what would be my play call? What would be my decision here? Would I put the running back at center like Mike McCarthy did with Zeke Elliott in that playoff game a few years
No,
ago?
you would go reverse pass, and Wingo would be throwing the ball down the field for a pick.
Well,
You
I
would
don't
try
think
something like
I don't think
that.
they have a wingo at Akron.
Well, or Jingo or whoever they got running the reverse. You would definitely be doing reverse pass.
Yeah,
That's always cool. It's always cool when a guy besides the quarterback throws the ball.
there'd be some trickeration in there for sure. I don't know if I could do that on the first play though, right? Like I think you got to catch the opposing defense off guard. Everyone's probably expecting some crazy trickeration or 4 verts or something like that, but just a nice run up the gut, pick up a few yards, get the drive started on a positive note.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't run quick screen. You're not going to do that.
That's the difference between this and being a real offensive coordinator. There's a lot of them, but like if you're an OC, you have a bad series. All right, I'm going to have 15 more of these in the game. If you're this fan who wins this contest, this is it, dude. You can't waste a play. And what happens if the right tackle false starts or commits a holding penalty and you're going 3 and out because you're behind the chains?
The P word comes up with your plays probably. Yep.
That guy's getting kicked off the damn team. Do I have that power?
No, you're just the offensive coordinator. You don't have that power.
Okay. Man, I bet Akron's season ticket holder phone line is ringing off the hook right
Oh,
now.
hell yeah, it is.
Box office is going crazy. And who's talking about Akron football right now? Nobody would be. Not even Akron fans would be. And
Dude, somebody who's got a lot of money is just buying season tickets, won't even go to the game. They just want to call the plays.
oh, dude, yeah, exactly. There are people who don't live in Akron who will never go to Akron in their life who are
Sure.
purchasing Zips season tickets just for
Why
the
not?
opportunity to do this.
Give me a 6-pack of those tickets. I got a couple $1 million here. Give me 3 of those season tickets. I'm calling the plays here.
I mean, Akron season tickets can't be that expensive either, right?
No.
Probably get these for pretty cheap, and there you go. There's your chance to.
God, that is so Mac-like. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Shout out to the MAC. I mean, they play on Tuesdays, they play on Wednesdays, they play every day of the week, which is already great. They're giving us football every single night, and now they are letting us be a part of the game.
That's awesome.
Good bit right there from the Zips. And I will be. It's Robert Morris versus Akron. I don't know how to find that game. I will find that game. It won't be,
Yes,
I would
indeed.
say on TV. It won't be on TV. I'm going to find some
No.
random pirated stream somewhere and watch that to see how that fan does.
That is awesome.
Must see TV.
We got to
All
keep
right.
that in mind that we have to do that for week 1. And look at the
Hey.
plays of that guy, whoever that is who calls, and we need to break those plays down.
I'd love Sark to do this. You know what? I'm not calling a toss sweep against Ohio State at the goal line.
You're not calling that down to the goal line?
No fan is. Whatever any fan would have called would have been better than that.
Oh my God.
Give us a chance to do this. Sark.
Oh man. That's too much. That is great.
That is great. All right. National Underwear Day today, Buck. So,
Wife's back in town. I got a full load of drawers full of underwear now. Clean undies. I love it.
Giving your wife a full load, huh?
No, 26 pairs of underwear. 26 underwear. Single pairs, yes. That's where I'm at right now.
She was gone for like 4 days.
I know, but I was down to about eight or nine. So everything's good now. It's loaded back. It's great.
Okay. I like that.
Nothing like opening up a drawer and here they are. And she folds them. She like wraps them and does some weird stuff. With me, I just threw them in a pile and shut the drawer. She has these things all lined up. It's great. Color coordinated. It's great.
I like that. A couple of birthday shout outs. Now the echo's back, so maybe we shouldn't. Otis Thorpe, Patrick Ewing, Anthony Edwards.
All ballers except for Anthony Edwards.
Born on this day now dead. Herb Brooks and Neil Armstrong.
I think Neil's been gone a while now.
Yeah. 2012.
There you go.
All right, we're leaving. We'll fix the technical difficulties for tomorrow's show. Thank you all for bearing with us. I don't know what the deal is. All right.
Somebody said, "Will Sorsby be betting on Robert Morris in Akron game?"
You're damn
I suppose he will.
You're damn right. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Welcome.
Hook up.